Hey, I'm Cameron McKenzie at CameronMCNZ on Twitter. And I wanted to talk to you about how you can render some basic HTML pages on GitHub pages. All you need to do is create that GitHub repository, and then you can start creating HTML pages at will. Now, one thing I will say is I'm not going to deal with Jekyll right here. In a couple of subsequent tutorials, I'll show you how to integrate some Jekyll markdown into your pages. But right here, if you just want to render some basic HTML, this is how you do it. So if you want to get started with Jekyll and GitHub, the first thing you need to do, of course, is just register on GitHub. I've registered a new account. It's called Learn Jekyll Fast. And if you want to get started with GitHub pages just in general, what you need to do is you need to create a new repository. Now here's the Join Get Started page. It says create a repository. I've got the option over here. I can click on repositories, click new here. It doesn't matter which way you do it as long as you create a repository. And the repository should be named the same name as your account, Learn Jekyll Fast. This is for GitHub pages specifically. And then github.io, I owe everybody something. So learnjekyllfast.github.io is going to be the name of my repository. I'm going to slide a README file in there, click create. Then after this is created, I'm going to go to the settings page. A couple of things you just want to verify in the settings page. If you scroll down, you'll notice that there is a listing for GitHub pages. Make sure that the branch that's going to build on is main. Previously, Git repositories defaulted to a master branch, so they're defaulting to main now just to be a little bit more culturally sensitive. Right now, I'm not going to choose a theme or anything like that. I'm just going to get started with writing some HTML code. So if I come over here to repositories, I'll click that again, click refresh over here. Even just taking a look from this settings page, I can get back to the repository just by clicking on the name of it. And you can see there's not much here. There's just a README file. And yeah, nothing too interesting on that README file. If you actually want to start writing some code, all you have to do is just click on this Add File. Click Create New File. And I'm going to create something called, called Hello World Webpage.html. This is just going to be a basic HTML page. And in the Jekyll documentation, they say, you know what? Just put in this as your basic Hello World page, right? Title, Hello World, a heading, Hello World. Click Commit New File. And there you go. You've now got a Hello World page inside of GitHub pages. Now, I'm going to go crazy here. I'm going to add a couple more HTML files. I'm going to be working with Jekyll and GitHub. I want people to be able to learn Jekyll fast, so I'm going to add a new file. I'll call it Learn Jekyll Fast webpage.html. It'll paste something in there. And notice I'm just getting a little crazier with my HTML. I got like a little heading there. I've got paragraph tags. I've got some italics. Got some H2. Now don't worry if you're going to be working with Jekyll, you don't have to do all of this crazy HTML stuff. We'll get rid of that in a minute. But I just want to show you what a normal web page might look like if you were just using regular HTML web development tools. I think I might even I'd like to work on some Bootstrap with Jekyll in the future. So even going one step further, I'll create another file and I'll call it what will I call it? I'll call it Jekyll and Bootstrap webpage.html, and then paste a little bit more in here, and you can see, as I said, it's just getting a little bit more intense. I got the heading tag, I've got the title, I've got a paragraph here, and then I've even got like an unordered list giving you 3 reasons why you might want to use Bootstrap with Jekyll, and it's like, it's mobile friendly, it's jQuery free, it's lightning fast. Start using Bootstrap 5 with Jekyll. There we go. Okay, so I'm just trying to emphasize the fact that, if you just want to write HTML pages in GitHub pages, you are welcome to do that. And I notice this page here is called Hello World webpage.html. I'm just going to copy that because I want to bring that up. If you actually go to settings in GitHub pages, it'll actually tell you what the URL for your GitHub pages is. So you can see learnjekyllfast.github.io is the name of my page. I'll open that up. And look, just gives me the default theme right there. So nothing too interesting when I just go to the default of the URL. But let me put Hello World web page in there. And there you go. I get my Hello World web page. Okay, well, that's not too interesting. Let's see what were the other pages that I created there that might be a little bit more interesting. I think the next one was the Learn Jekyll Fast web page. So we'll get that HTML. I'm just copying that so I don't have to type it in and get one of those typing errors there. So we'll go Learn Jekyll Fast. There we go. Learn Jekyll on GitHub. It's a great way to build and host your website. Seriously, you can see how that maps to the HTML. Let's see if I can get that there. Bring this up here. There's my Learn Jekyll Fast web page. You can see Learn Jekyll Fast. Seriously, great is emphasized there in italic. So you kind of see how that works. And then maybe even bring up this last one, Learn Jekyll with Bootstrap. That was our most complicated one. That one used a list there. Let's bring that up. And there you go. You can see how this unordered list gets all of the different items in there. And so there you go. That's the basics of, well, I wouldn't even call this Jekyll, because this really isn't Jekyll yet. This is just HTML. But if you want to get started with GitHub pages, creating your own website, first thing to do, just get a couple of web pages in there, get them working. The next step is actually taking this and using some Jekyll Markdown so you can actually get rid of the HTML and write your web pages much, much easier. And there you go. That's how easy it is to render some basic HTML on GitHub pages. Now the next tutorial is going to deal a little bit with Jekyll and working with some Markdown and then even getting into templates. But if you just wanted to work with some basic HTML, get a web page up and running on GitHub pages, that's how you do it. Now if you enjoyed this tutorial, why don't you head over to theserverside.com. I'm the editor-in-chief over there. We've got lots of great tutorials on Git, GitHub, DevOps, anything to do with enterprise software development for that matter. If you're interested in my personal antics, you can follow me on Twitter at CameronMCNZ and subscribe on YouTube.